Today we're tasting our Pear-Apple wine.
Now, come with me, Shad. Let me teach you something. It's been a month since we started our Pear-Apple wine, and it's all finished now, and we're going to tell you how it tastes. But first, before we tell you how it tastes, we got to tell you what went wrong. Few things. I was a little greedy and wanted to get the most flavor out of the pears, because I know pears don't give off much flavor. So when we juiced all the pears, I also oh, well, I should put the rest of the pulp back in. That way it gets more tannin, soak up any little pear that was left in the pulp. And what that did was actually reduce our 5 gallon batch of what should have been 25 bottles down to just this.
In theory, it sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. It's just I could not strain the pulp out of the juice enough to actually get something somewhat drinkable. And I don't want to be drinking pulpy wine.
Yeah. Like when you were straining it, it just like stopped. Like liquid.
Yeah, I had to leave.
Pretty much wasn't coming out. It was so thick.
Yeah, I had to leave a lot of wine behind just to get rid of the pulp. And then we cold crashed it, got more pulp out of it. Cold crashed it again, got more pulp out of it. Pasteurized it, which helps sediment get sunk into the bottom. And then cold crashed it again. And this is what we're left with. There's no pulp left in any of them, but they aren't crystal clear. They're kind of like a cider.
Yeah, they look like apple cider.
They taste like apple cider.
Yeah, it does. So I guess you could almost say it's apple cider.
Yeah, it's closer to a cider than a wine to me, especially being spiced. And talking about spice, you want to tell me what we did wrong too?
We put way too much clove. We started off, what was it, 0.5 ounce?
Yeah, it was 5 grams.
5 grams. And then I think you added another 5 grams. Way too much.
Yeah. My reasoning why I added some more after the video ended was I didn't have a porter mestle to grind up the cloves. So I figured they wouldn't get as much clove flavor or clove scent because it wasn't ground up into a powder. So let me just add a little more into it. I should not have done that. It was a little over spicy in the pepper department.
I kind of had a feeling it was gonna do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we just were experimenting with a lot of this stuff. So I was like, I didn't really see a harm, and it's a 5 gallon bucket.
Yeah.
So
it's 10
5
grams.
Is not a lot.
Yeah, to 5 gallons.
Yeah. Well, clove, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So.
And we left it a little longer on the cloves than we could have. Like we could have took it off the cloves and it would have been just fine. But life gets in the way. We had a lot to do, and this video got put on the back burner. So it sat on the cloves even longer than we wanted to leave it on. So in the future, if you ever do this recipe, don't add extra clove or the pulp.
Yeah.
Terrible ideas for both of them, which we might do this video again more towards the fall and tweak a few things because I don't want to spoil anything. But this is a fall drink, and I love it. All right, so you want to get to the tasting?
Sure.
Want to swipe all this away? Well, thank you for clearing off the table. We just went on this huge spiel talking all about this wine, and our camera ran out of memory. So we have to do this whole thing again. You could act like you poured all this if you want to. Use your imagination. But we was going to rate this on smell and taste. Because I do love the smell of it.
Yeah. So what I was saying that it would definitely candle.
Yeah.
Did we bring out like the clove and all that?
Oh, let's go ahead and talk about this. So, it's not as clovey as we was waiting on because we did back sweeten this. We put about
a cup of sugar
back into it to sweeten, and it did balance it pretty well. So,
yeah,
the smell, I love the smell. It is fall incarnate to me. What I think of when I smell this, and not per se the smell of the place I'm going to mention, but the feeling of walking into a Hobby Lobby when all their fall stuff starts getting put on the walls. That's the smell of this drink to me.
I would understand, like, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It definitely isn't what Hobby Lobby smells like. But the vibes, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's the vibes. I think it smells like apple cider.
Yeah, it does smell a lot
like spiced apple cider.
We call this a wine, but it's pretty much a cider. And we're going to talk a lot about how it tastes like apple, smell like apple, and apple is adjacent things. But we started off this wine that's a pear-apple wine. We only put 3 pounds of apple into this and like 14 pounds of pear. But pear is just pretty much like a muted apple. They taste very similar.
I wouldn't say that all the time. I think it was the type of pears we used
and the type
of apple we used. Our pears really didn't have much of a flavor, but our apple, we used Gala apples. And they were very flavorful. So I think it kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed with pear.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing.
What would you give it a smell, by the way? If you just had to sit here and smell this.
Oh, I think it's like a 9.
I give it, yeah.
I think it smells so good. Like, I'm so impressed by how it's turned
out. Yeah. One thing before I forget, we never actually said what the ABV was going to be, because when we put the pulp back in to the wine, which we should have never done, it really cut our cost of wine. But what was I going to say? Oh, I was talking about alcohol. Sorry, you guys, I had a huge brain fart there.
That's what this whole video
is. We did it so well in the previous recording.
I know.
So I couldn't measure the approximate ABV of what this turned out to. I mean, I could do some off-screen calculations on how much sugar we put in, and I'll put that here if you like. But we couldn't tell at the time, and really, I don't know what this is. Is it maybe 10, maybe 12, somewhere in that range? No. What about taste? What do you taste?
So, it tastes like an apple pie to me. Like, the filling, more so. It has more of like an allspice taste.
Which is no allspice. Just
clove. But clove is an allspice.
Yeah, it's maybe green.
And it's a very strong flavor. I think that's why you taste it so much in allspice. But because before we did all the other stuff to it, it was so strong. Like it was kind of hard to drink.
It took over.
Because it was just too much clove. But I think it's kind of settled. It's definitely settled down. Like it's there. It's not subtle per se.
To me, you say apple pie, I think apple butter. That's the very first thing that comes to mind when I drink this. It's apple butter.
And I could definitely see where he's coming from when he says that. To me, I'm getting kind of more of like a caramel.
Like a butterscotch.
Yeah, caramelly.
Some filling.
Yeah, filling, yeah.
Yeah. It tastes like all that. It tastes apple pie, pumpkin pie, apple butter. It's just, like I said, fall. And I don't think, as much as I love this, I don't think this is a year-round drink. This is a sweet treat on an occasion when the weather is nice and cool outside.
Yeah. And, it's good, because we did it, this is just, like, room temperature, I guess we'd say.
Yeah.
It's great room temperature. It tastes great cold. We haven't tried it hot yet, but I
want to try it hot?
Yeah, I think we're gonna try it hot. Yeah.
All right. And by the power of the microwave, we have hot hot wine.
You're so cringe.
I know. Really, it should be hot cider. We will rename it whenever we make this again and tweak a few things. It's still good, but I think I still rather it room temperature. Before I say what I think, I'll let you try it.
The smell almost smells a little different too.
Yeah.
I'm scared to drink it. I'm scared to burn my mouth. That's alright.
Yeah.
Like, it's not bad.
I think it brings out more of that malic acid, a little tartness towards that. I think you can make a hot version of hot toddy from this.
Yeah. I think somebody might like it hot, but I think I will just quit.
Yeah. In winter, you'd probably rather it hot.
Yeah, I think so.
Right now, it's not really. We don't have seasons here in Louisiana. It's hurricane season. We're actually going through Hurricane Francine right as we're recording this. Like it's, I think, 3 hours till it hits land.
Yeah, they said around 5 to 7 o'clock. They don't know. Yeah. Around that time, and it's like 1:30 right now.
Yeah.
So.
But we gotta put y'all first as our viewers. I do rather it.
Yeah, me too.
You could taste more, I feel like. Alright, so what is our rating of 10 before our camera runs out again?
Okay.
Let's say it at the same time?
No, let's say it separate.
Alright.
So they can hear. I'm gonna give mine, I was gonna give it between an 8 or a 9, but I think I'm gonna give it a 9 because it exceeded my expectations. Usually I'm pretty critical of what we make.
Yeah.
And I'm so surprised. Like, it's really good. And I don't say that about a lot of our wines. Like, not that our other stuff isn't good. It's just, I don't know. We learn a lot of things. We experiment a lot. So it's just...
This is the first, big recipe we did, too.
Yeah.
For me, this is going to be the first time channel, but I'll give it a 10. And I know I said it was a seasonal drink earlier. You want to drink it all the time, but as a treat in the winter or fall. But like how Mace was saying, this exceeded my expectations. There's a lot of things we make that I think is good personally. I'm a little nervous for other people to try. I'm not nervous for anyone to try this. I'm excited to share this with people and my friends and family because this is just good.
Right, and the whole process was a struggle.
Yeah.
We really did not have high hopes.
Couldn't strain it to get all the pulp out that I stupidly put back in. Overspiced it. But somehow with age and balancing with sweetness, it just came out lovely.
Yeah.
And
we're excited to share.
Almost rather smell it than drink it. It just smells so good. And I don't know if it's because I'm tired of this heat and I'm ready for fall season. But I'm excited.
Yeah, that's why I said it could candle, because it smells like it's just so nice to smell.
Yeah.
Like I'd want to light a apple cider candle now.
Yeah. Well, if you have time and have been interested about trying different recipes for making wine, go ahead and try this Pear-Apple wine recipe. It came out delicious. And we'll see you for our next video. And here's the people we're going to thank. Oh, like, comment, and subscribe. Me and Macy are trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of this year. And we only have, I think, 39 more subscribers to go. So please, find someone, bring them here, get them to subscribe. I beg you. I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you now for your loving ways. Ooh, no, baby, yeah. Want to thank you. All right. Flame on. No, I'm not going to do that.
Cringe.